Hi, Dami Kim, Sedona Chakra Healing. Today's episode is about the Yolessa's story, the director of Sedona Healing Art. You got to know her a little bit about through her expertise. Today, let's meet her, listen to her personal story of her healing journey and her life-changing story. So it inspires you and inspire all of us. Let's go. Share about why you came to Sedona. What is your background? You know, why you're ending up.
Yes, I get that question a lot.
Really?
Yeah, a lot, especially at the end of like sessions. They're like, how do you end up doing something like this as for your life? So basically, before I came to Sedona for the first time probably about 13 years ago or so. I came here to go on a retreat spontaneously. I was living in New York City. So I have a background as an athlete, as a dancer, a professional dancer, and also I was a lawyer at the time. I had been out of law school not that long, probably a couple of years at the time.
Oh.
Yeah, when I came here.
Also, you're a good investor too, I know. So she has many professional athlete from Canada.
So yeah, when I through most of my teenage years into my early 20s, that's really like what I did.
So you moved to New York to go to school?
I moved to New York to go to school, to go to law school, yeah. And then at the same time as I went to law school, I was able to dance professionally.
She was a professional dancer.
Yeah.
So she was lawyer, professional dancer. How she became like a reader now?
I know, but when I look back on my life now, I realize I was always searching for that. Like even through sports, even through dance, the arts, everything that I was doing, I realized that I was searching for basically what I'm doing now. Really, it's the true self. So it's like what I'm doing now is like an expression of my kind of authentic spirit and desire. Yeah, and at the time where I was in myself, those things that I were doing was as far as I'd gotten in being able to express that part of me authentically. But when I kind of met the world of energy, and I felt like energy for the first time. I clearly remember in New York City, that's where things changed for me, and I realized like the power to dance or create or do all these things is actually coming from this energy, and that was the original source. And so I became more interested. I think
so you
eventually
studied the energy training in New York City first.
Yeah, I became more interested in that, and I started incorporating that into my dancing and began to see this. I began to see how if I did training before I danced, then like I needed to do less dance training, and so I began to understand how these things were like the origin, you know, of these things. And naturally my focus veered more toward the healing side of things than to, you know, being an artist. I still love being an artist, but I just eventually realized.
So you're more focused on fundamental source of life, which make you dance, which make you live your life.
Right. That, you know, from that fundamental source, the dance comes from there, the martial arts, everything is coming from there. And so when you really connect with that, you truly feel creative. Like
then after getting training from New York City, why you moved to Sedona, decided to move to Sedona? What makes Sedona different than New York City? You could still train in New York City and still
it's
dance.
So true, yeah. So I think it was a little bit of destiny. I moved here. I have a little bit of destiny. So I came to Sedona, and I did a retreat here. Called
Take some of your own.
Yeah, and I was supposed to go back to New York City after 10 days, but I stayed here and I did it like 10 times. 10 times!
10 times keep
in a
visiting
row.
What?
No, I did that training 10 times in a row.
So why you decided to move here? How many times did you come to Sedona to move here?
After, only once.
Only once?
Yeah.
Only once?
I came that time and I stayed for 8 months. I was supposed to stay for 10 days.
You
stayed for 8 months, did training. That I did that program over and over again 10 times. At the same time I did like
so
then
she came once and decided to stay 8 months for her own energy training.
That's right.
And decided to move.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's how
I've known you for 10 years. I didn't.
That's how I moved to Sedona. I went back to New York City once. I sold everything in the street in 3 hours.
What?
Yeah, I made like thousands of dollars in 3 hours. Closed my apartment and then I moved here.
3 hours? How possible?
I know.
Maybe energy training worked, right? The 8 months of energy training really worked for her to clear up everything, her past, and move to Sedona to make a new life. Only 3 hours.
3 hours. I went in the streets, sold everything.
That's the power of energy. That's why you should come to Sedona. Yes.
And you know, my friend tried to do the same thing after me. Never worked.
Why?
She was like, because she saw me in the street selling everything, and people were like fighting for everything. And she was like, what? Like, and so she was like, I got to do this. Never did work. Yeah, so
because she did the energy training.
maybe. I don't know.
Energy training is key. So when you decide to come to Sedona, that's why I said you need to feel the energy, because energy will make your life completely different, whether it's inside or outside both.
Yeah, so that's how I came here. Yeah.
That's great. So now, so what do you want to recommend them?
So the beauty of coming to Sedona, like physically actually being here, is that Sedona, as everyone knows, it's a vortex, right? So when you're here on this land, doing training on this land, it's not just you, the land is interacting with you, and then you have the advantage of the land interacting with your own energy, and everything is faster. It's like 1,000 times faster than if you were in New York City doing the same thing. And so if you really want to break through, you know, I always suggest if you really want to break through something, you're supposed to come to Sedona.
Do they need to prepare anything before they come?
Yeah, so my suggestion is that before you come to Sedona, there's a book called The Call of Sedona. Do you see this? Call of Sedona. It's a New York Times best-selling book. The author is Ilchi Lee. So this is a great read before you come. I mean,
before you come.
Yeah, even if you read it while you come here, it's still wonderful. But take the advantage of reading it before you come. Then you'll know where to go. You'll know how to interact with the land. You won't just come here and be like, oh, and as you know, he says in the book, just take pictures or something. You'll have an idea of how to really get the most out of being here. Yeah, and you'll know all the secret places to go. That information that's hard to find out.
Right.
In this book.
Yeah, this book really helped me to connect, not just seeing the views, but it helped me to connect with myself through the book and then going to visit those places. So I think that's perfect. Before you come to Sedona, please read that book and prepare. You don't have to finish the whole thing, but at least get the sense of what you're gonna expect to come, and then make your experience the most fulfilling way. There's 4 things I recommended in the other video. 4 things I recommend when you come to Sedona to do is: number 1, feel the energy. So learn how to feel the energy. Second, go to hiking.
Yes, hiking. You have to go to the land.
You have to go to land to feel the vortexes in hiking. And third one, find the readers like her to help you to guide your journey of your life. Fourth is like shopping. So people come here all to shop.
Yeah, so
where do you? Yeah.
Right, I forgot to mention. So Sedona, because it's such a spiritual place, you know, this is a very good place for crystal buying.
Right. And also, I know she's specialized spiritual detox. Maybe you never heard of spiritual detox. You do a lot of detox, right? But I did spiritual detox last year, and it helped me so much about my gut issues, and also it released my emotion too. So she's actually expert of a spiritual detox. What's the difference between your detox and others' detoxes?
Yeah, so I know lots of people have detoxed before, but most of the time.
But also, you have your own experience of detox. You had a lot of problems before.
Yes, I had a lot of problems. And detox was one of the ways that I really was able to break through some of my habits and change and get my health back. Not just physical health, but also mental, emotional health. So the difference between the detox we do here and the detox that people normally see is that detox people normally see is done from a physical level only. And so there is lots of benefit there, but most people who've ever experienced going through a deep detox, naturally there's going to be an emotional cleansing that begins to come out, but they're normally not guided through that process, so they really have no idea what's happening. And so for most people it's scary, they don't know what's going on, they don't know how to navigate, and then either they shut down from that, or they are like, I need to stop this, or because they don't understand the phenomenon. But in this detox, you're specifically guided to deal with the emotional body and the mind, to release a lot of your trauma from the root. And as a result, the results you get are 1,000 times more, it's clear and it's concise, and you know what's going on, and you know how to move and release the fear or anxiety or whatever trauma it is. You know how to release it completely.
Right.
You know, instead of loose ends hanging here and there,
instead of
confused.
surface like detox, you go deeper. Detox the root of the problems.
Yes.
Your issues.
Yes, and so the power in that is that thoughts become things. So a lot of times people don't realize, like, if you just sometimes do healing, it helps, but then it feels like the problem is still there. But if you cleanse, if you kind of move through the issue energetically through the mind, and then the cells go out, a lot of times, a lot of my clients, the result is that they don't have the issue anymore.
That's wonderful. I did it once. It became very clear. That was it's very good. For 21 days I did last year. It was helpful so much because I had IBS, so it helped me so much.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of that. Yeah.
I thank you so much for Yolessa for introducing what you do. I feel like by interviewing her, I feel like this is a place where you even any beginners who can start to learn about the healing and reading, and eventually they also have a goal to be even readers or healers too. So from zero to until the even professional courses you all offer, that's great thing. I love to go one place to learn from the beginning to the end instead of going to many locations, learn different teachers. That's what I like Sedona Healing Arts too. So thank you so much, and I hope you, when you visit, please meet Yolessa.
Yes, I hope I meet you too.
Okay, thank you so much again.
Yes, thank you.
I offer 15 minutes consultation for the people who is looking for physical wellness guide, mental health, emotional health, and spiritual health guidance. When I got sick, when I have trouble in my life, I was always looking for someone who can help me right away so I can save my time and resources to heal myself faster. So that part is always missing. Whenever I see the people who's searching for it, then I want to be the person who can share with them what I experienced before. So last 24 years of my life experience with the healing and wellness, I know so many people in the world, and I can find the right wellness expert. Any case is okay. You can contact me through my email, damisedona@gmail.com, or my Instagram, damisedona Chakra Healing. You can click the book now section and schedule your appointment. So I'm happy to help you to find the right person. I'm the connector to find right wellness expert to you. People who is expert about physical health, more qigong training, or how to strengthen your lower chakra area, or I know someone who is very talented to open your heart chakra and open your emotional pain and being able to heal right away. I know those experts. I know somebody who can give you intuitive, insightful guidance that you can see your past clearly, or somebody who has all different level of abilities too. So depending on what kind of things you need, I'll find right wellness expert for you. I'm excited to see you soon.